You already know what it is. Come on. Yeah.
The hottest hits.
Hot 106.
All right, Mike D here, New England Fan Fest 9, brought to you by Immortal Seats. It is already jam-packed here at the Crown Plaza. People everywhere, people dressed up. We got Ray Bork jerseys, because Ray Bork is currently signing over to my right, your left. He's signing some autographs and some jerseys, some Bruins memorabilia. We have Dennis Rodman expected here later. Of course, Trish Stratus, who I spoke to earlier this week, will be here later. And the other room, which is already massive as well, ton of wrestlers. We got X-Pac in there, Devon from the Dudley Boys. I had to yell, get the tables already. He was all about it. Mouth of the South, Jimmy Hart, and the people that are here, they're pumped, man. They're excited, and it's cool to see. But let's catch up with some people and hopefully catch up with some of the celebrities here signing autographs. You never know who you're going to run into here at New England Fan Fest 9. Can you believe it? The Paul Bearer in the flesh with the urn. I'm very scared for him to summon the Undertaker right now. Oh, there it is. Right over the head. Paul Bearer, thank you for joining us here. Oh, yes. Hall of Famer, but we know the man behind Paul Bearer, Mark. How are we doing today, Mark? Welcome to New England Fan Fest 9. Tell us a little bit about the getup. Yeah, oh, there he is. You have to.
That voice kills me. I did this as a lark 5 years ago at the show, and ever since then the promoter has become a friend and he has me back as a guest. So I do about 30 characters at Comic-Cons and events around the East Coast, but Paul Bearer at a wrestling con, I'm like God.
Yeah, I mean, you essentially are. You have the power to summon the Undertaker.
Everybody knows who I am here. If I go to a regular con or a regular event, some people know. But at a wrestling con, it's like my Cheers bar. Everybody knows my name.
Everybody knows your name, Mark / Paul Bearer. This is amazing. So tell me, like, when did you realize that you were able to channel the Paul Bearer character? You said it was 5 years ago?
Well, I used to do comedy pop culture shows up and down Comic-Cons up the East Coast. And so I've always been able to do various characters. And again, I do like 30. So someone dared me to come here as Paul Bearer, and I said, I'll take that.
I'll take that. And you did an amazing job. What are some of your favorite other characters to play?
Oh, Doc Brown. I do a Ghostbusters. Indiana Jones. I do a Loki. Those are the big ones that I do. I do a lot of Doc Brown.
So the classics.
Yes. I actually have my own YouTube channel that I do.
Very good. So tell us a little bit more about that, where we can find more of your content.
Carnival of Adventure. It's on YouTube, Carnival of Adventure. I got about 5,000 subscribers. And I go cover trips across the U.S., tourist places, New England local tourist places. For example, I did Hollywood Horror Nights at Universal in California last year. That's my most popular video on the channel. But again, I go to local tourist events here as well. And I do comedy and all my characters, and Paul Bearer, a few Doctor Who's, a lot of characters show up on that channel.
That's amazing, Mark. Well, go subscribe on YouTube, check out more of your content, and one last time, give us a good Paul Bearer.
Oh, yes!
All right, I'm here with Josh from Retromania, an incredible. Why don't you pan over this real quick, Steve? Check out all of these amazing figures, just memorabilia. I'm a huge wrestling memorabilia guy. But yeah, Josh, tell me a little bit about Retromania, how you guys got started, and where all of these figures came from.
Absolutely. So I'm a toy enthusiast myself, collector, and I started collecting when I was younger, going to flea markets with my dad, my grandparents, and it just stuck with me all through high school. I did sports figures, wrestling, and then I started getting back into the stuff I grew up with, like G.I. Joes, Transformers, He-Man, all that cool stuff. So it's not my full-time job. It's something I do on the side. It's fun, and the hunt is always what keeps me coming back. So
I love it. And you mentioned that Retromania, no brick and mortar. It's strictly online. So are these submissions? Are these that people will submit them to you and you kind of grade them? Or how does that work?
So people, I've built a customer clientele just from being local, doing local flea markets, toy shows. I have a webpage on Facebook, and people will come to me. They sell collections to me. I'm out hunting, like I said, flea markets, toy shows myself, and you just build an inventory. So it's that's kind of where it's come from, and people buy, sell, trade all the time with me.
Yeah, this is awesome stuff. I got a collection at home. Unfortunately, I'm not sure how valuable they are. They have like crayon from blood, from like really aggressive matches from when I was a kid. And there's a Hulk Hogan Wrestle Buddy, which we're gonna put a clip of right now.
Absolutely.
I have one of those. How old is that thing? Because I have had that since before, and I have an older brother. I've had that since before I can remember.
So the Wrestling Buddies came out in the early 90s, so it was like 91 or 92. That was the time when the Hasbro figures were out too, which are my favorite wrestling figures of all time. But yeah, you see a dime a dozen of Hogan. It's the other ones that are the rare ones to look for. So the Legion of Doom, the Big Boss Man, Jake the Snake, those are the ones to really look for. So
yeah, mine is like, I think my grandmother had to re-stitch the lip on Hogan because he caught too many elbow drops. All right. But Josh, this is amazing. What is the rarest piece that you've ever collected? Is it here? And if it's not here, what is it?
So the rarest piece that I would say that I have is I came across a collection of some they call them black cards. So it's the last series of LJNs. They have a black card. They were exclusives mainly to Canada, but they kind of made their way down here in the Northeast. And I had a collection of those on card. I had like the Andre the Giant on card, Big Boss Man, some heavy hitter figures. So those would be my pride and joys. I have one here today.
I'll check it out. Ooh.
Hacksaw Jim Duggan. So Hacksaw's here today.
Get in on that, Steve.
So as you can see on card, it's the last series 89. That's why they're the rarest and most expensive. Where the other series prior are always on a blue card, and that's why they call them the black cards. But that would be a good piece right here for sure. So
that's it. And Hacksaw Jim Duggan is here today. I heard the ho, and there was a 2x4 somewhere out there. I can guarantee that. Josh, man,
appreciate you, brother.
We definitely got to keep in touch because this stuff is amazing. And from New Bedford.
Yes, sir.
So I dropped a little Portuguese on, a little bom dia. You know what I mean? Absolutely, man. Tell us where we can find your store.
Yeah, so if you go on Facebook, I'm primarily on Facebook, just managing the real job, the family life, the kids, all that stuff. It's tough to do too many platforms on social media, so I primarily do Facebook. Retromania Toys and Collectibles. You can follow me, like me. I always post when I get new stuff and where I'm going to be and setting up and local toy shows and whatnot. Primarily, I set up at the Raynham Taunton Flea Market a lot as well, so you can catch me there in the summer, outside, but definitely follow the page.
Awesome. Go follow it. Retromania. Josh, thank you. All right, we are back with an absolute legend in the game. You cannot talk about wrestling, professional wrestling, WWE, without mentioning the name Rikishi and many other names. Rikishi, man, it's a pleasure, brother. Thank you so much.
You're so kind, man. Nice to meet you, my brother.
It's a pleasure. And first of all, what an incredible time for you. And I'm sure it's an extremely proud time for you. Your family, your sons are the face of the current product. Tell us a little bit about how that feels watching them do this.
Well, I talk a lot about it on my podcast, Rikishi Fatu Off the Top. And, it's just it's a wonderful thing to see the family out there continue on the legacy of the Samoan dynasty bloodline. And, well over 75 plus years, man. And we just don't go away.
And I hope you don't go away. I mean, it's good for business, clearly. I mean, last week they had the WrestleMania press conference and they showed the actual family tree. It's crazy.
Man, you know what? That's probably the first time I've seen that tree. I know about it in my mind, but if I was confused looking at that, I'm sure everybody was. But listen, that's how big our family is. And that's just past, present, and the future. We still have other, nephews and nieces that are in the game, and hopefully there's no more that come into professional wrestling.
Well, you never know. It seems like you guys can't avoid it. But your career, of course, I feel like it was such a big part of the transition to the next level of your family being in the sport. Obviously, you were there shortly before The Rock came in, and then you two during the Attitude Era took it to the next level. What was that like, kind of you guys being at the top at the same time?
Well, all we're doing is just passing down what was passed to us from our three fathers, what I would like to call Uncle High Chief Peter Maivia and Uncle Alfred Sika. And, it's just passing down, the torch, and it continues on. And so, it has a lot to do also with the love of the business that we have. When you're taught, the right way of what this professional wrestling industry is about, we were always taught you either all the way in or all the way out. And to be able to try to step in and fill
chooses like Uncle Alpha and Sika and High Chief Peter Maivia, it wasn't easy, man. You know, people think because you have your uncles in there or any family members, they get to open the door easy. No, it's not that way. You know, it's even harder because you got to get in there to be able to, you know, if not be as good as them or be better than them. But, you know, at the end of the day, it's always that support level amongst the family. And so each and every one of us that comes after us are taught the right way about what this business is about.
I think that's a perfect way to put it, because it's nothing is handed to you in that business. You have to earn it, and especially a guy your size. Some of the things that you were doing, I mean, jumping off the top of cages. When you're standing up there, was there ever a moment where you were like, is there an easier way down here?
Well, it's never. You can't fake gravity. At 450 pounds, I didn't know I was going to come off the cage, and I'll tell you why. You know, I'm a big fan of my uncle Jimmy Snuka. Well, I'm sure the whole world is, and we all remember that iconic Madison Square Garden when Jimmy went up to the top of the cage and did the Superfly splash off the cage onto Don Morocco. And as a kid, I was there watching that from the locker room through that alleyway, and it was like seeing, you know, Superman that looks like us fly off of there. And I always said that one day, if in case I ever get a chance, I would want to do that like Uncle Jimmy Snuka. But I didn't know I was going to do it at 450 pounds. And in this business, when you ever get that opportunity, you got to seek that opportunity and take it, because you never know if you're going to get another chance at it. And as you know, I did that one time and one time only. And here's the deal. Being at 450 pounds, you know, there's a lot of kids that are out there, you know, that are being bullied because you're too big, you're too fat, you can't move as fast as other athletes, you don't have a six-pack, you're not a bodybuilder, you just all that. So your mental mind, state of mind, for me, I wanted to use my platform to be able to turn that around. And for the kids that are out there, like, everybody's body's built different. You don't judge the book by its cover. So at the end of the day, they didn't think Rikishi can move the way he could with 450s and stuff like that. And then when I came up with the move of the clothesline doing a 360 at 450 pounds, there's got to be some type of athletic ability around that. And that's what my point was. My point was to utilize my platform for the kids that are out there that, you know, they're being bullied up, they're too fat, they're too big. I beg the difference.
And you did an incredible job. You were such a, you know, inspiration, I'm sure, for so many kids that were watching you. And maybe the way you looked at your uncle looked at you like, damn, if he could do that, I can do that too. You brought us so many memories, Rikishi, and I want to wrap it up with this. The Too Cool dance. When was the last time you busted it out with the shades, brother? I got to know.
Well, I'm doing it right now with my grandkids. We do it in the living room, but, you know, you can, I do a lot now with my time being away from the ring. I train kids now to be able to teach them inside and out of the squared circle there. We're not PlayStation wrestlers. That this thing, what we do, really hurt. And so I train kids at my gym in Los Angeles, Knox Pro Academy. That's KNOKXPRO.com. And I also talk about, for those that can't come, I talk about it on my podcast at Rikishi Fatu Off the Top. You can see the page on my Rikishi page on Instagram that's verified, and go to the link. So if you want to learn about the business or just try to get some type of insight, you know, I'm your one-stop shop for information that they reach out and just kind of, you know, learn the knowledge about professional wrestling.
The ins and outs, there can't be anybody better than you. Rikishi, thank you so much, man. Really appreciate your time today. It was an honor.
Thank you, Mike. God bless you all. And remember this, it's free to be kind to one another. And let love shine.
We are back. This caught my eye, super cool. The Wrestling Code video game. We got Tony and Zach, who will explain your involvement in the game and you know what you're doing here today at New England Fan Fest 9.
Sure thing. So we're here, New England Fan Fest 9, showing off the movement demo of the Wrestling Code video game. It's being developed by Virtual Basement. They're known for helping on Ark Survival. They have a game called Mean Greens Plastic Warfare out. We're working on the Wrestling Code. It's kind of a passion project. But yeah, so we're basically trying to make this the most authentic wrestling game you've ever played. That meaning that everybody gets to do their own motion capture. So when you get to, maybe when we're done, you can play the demo a little bit. If you move around as me, you climb the ropes, you run around, that's all my genuine movements that I recorded in motion capture. I've also done motion capture with Anthony Green, Kurt Angle, Rob Van Dam, Ultimo Dragon. These are all people that are going to be in the game and all people that did their own motion capture, their own moves.
That's amazing. I mean, you got some legends in this game too. I mean, if you look at right there, you got RVD, DDP. I just run around yelling "bang" to people randomly, and yeah, they look at me weird. But if you know, you know. And Zach, tell us a little bit about your involvement in some of these pictures you got here. These look dope.
So my involvement with the game, when Tony got signed to the game, he needed somebody to take his moves, and I'm a local wrestler, so Tony said, you know what, let's get Zach Ruby to take his moves, and I did for the game, and now he has all his moves recorded into the game. I've also traveled with them to help set up the computers, put the sensors on different wrestlers. I did take Facade's movements and Ruckus's, both great guys. They're going to be great wrestling video game characters as well, so check them out. I try to get involved where I can with the game.
I mean, it's super cool, and I noticed it uses the Unreal Engine too, which is obviously a very realistic engine in the video game. Now, what led you to getting involved with this? Obviously, you're both wrestlers, but as far as like being a part of a video game, creating a video game, how did that begin?
Yeah, so, actually, I don't know if you guys are familiar with Grim. He's a wrestler who's also going to be on the game, but he got signed, and we both work for Grim's wrestling show, which is based in New Jersey. So when he got signed, obviously I wanted to support a friend, so I started sharing and seeing all the stuff they were putting out. Eventually they started seeing my stuff, and they asked me to be on the game. So when they came to New Jersey, like he said, they needed somebody to take my motion capture. That's how he got involved. And then I offered to stay throughout the rest of the weekend and take the rest of the people's motion capture. So that weekend I did Anthony Green, we did Luigi Primo, the greatest pizza maker, and we did Crowbar. And then after that weekend, they asked me to do Rob Van Dam and then Kurt Angle, and it just started kind of going off from there.
Super, super cool. And it will be available on all systems, online. Where will we be able to play this game?
Yeah, you'll be able to play it PS5, Xbox, and Steam. I'm pretty sure when it originally comes out, it's just going to be on Steam, like until it updates to a certain point. That's kind of how the video games work these days. As you can tell, probably I'm not a developer, you know what I'm saying? So like I can only answer as much as I can in that. But yeah, we're trying to get it out as soon as possible, but we don't want it to be half produced or anything like that. So we're trying to give you the best product possible here.
Yeah, somebody who's early days of video games, wrestling video games are a huge part of it. I'm super excited for this. And I won't be able to take bumps, so you won't be able to hire me to take bumps. But if you need like a manager in there, like just to yell at people, tell them to suck it, whatever, do the too sweet, I'm your guy. I motion capture everything for you guys, all right?
I will call you if I need somebody to be told to suck it.
Thank you, to be told to suck it. Damn right. Tony, Zach, appreciate it, fellas. This was awesome. Keep an eye out for the Wrestling Code video game coming soon.
And if you want more information on that, you can follow us at Virtual Basement on Instagram and Twitter. You can also follow me at TonyCini96, and we got Zach Ruby here. You can follow him as well.
That's right. You follow me, the Gem Zach Ruby.
Love it, guys. Super excited. Thanks for chatting with us today, man. We'll talk to you guys soon. We are back with Too Sweet Antiques. We got Jeff here. They're in downtown Providence. An incredible setup. Great assortment of antiques here. Jeff, good to meet you, my man, first and foremost. Thank you so much. So tell us a little bit about how you got started in collecting.
I mean, it kind of happened on a whim. Went through my mom's attic one day, and I found a bunch of my old collectibles. And there were a few things in there. I was like, that might probably sell that for a few bucks. So I bought a $20 logo generator online. It was the worst thing ever. And it kind of grew from there. Got a new logo made, had it custom made. And then I did the Providence Flea in downtown Providence and did extremely well. And it just kind of started making connections throughout the wrestling community. And from there, I ended up doing WrestleCon a couple years ago at WrestleMania. And I brought in my good friend Maven. If you don't know him, he has a YouTube channel. And then it kind of grew from there more. It kind of took a break, and now I'm back with the new logo, a little play on the Providence Friars vintage logo, and kind of playing homage to being from the Providence area.
And we all know Providence is such a huge place for wrestling in general. A lot of wrestling fans here, so you must do incredible with a lot of this. So tell us about some of the things that you have here. So I noticed it's not just WWE. You got a couple chairs, but you got all different types of merch. Tell us about some of your favorite pieces.
Yeah, so some of my personal favorite pieces and kind of how I collect a lot of the old vintage posters that were from the Providence, Warwick area. Specifically, stuff I don't sell is my Jack Witchy's collection, which was Jack Witchy Sports Arena in Attleboro. I have a lot of those vintage posters, and used to run events at the Providence Civic Center. I have an original chair from the Providence Civic Center that I have at home. But then I also sell a lot of modern stuff as well. And I do everything from cheap items to high-end items, so that way it's something there for everybody. And my mystery box is always a big hit as well, which have come with some sweet stuff in there.
Yeah, so tell us about the mystery boxes. I think each box includes a couple of different items here. So tell us a little bit about that. It's pretty sweet.
So I got 5 of these mystery boxes here. Each box is going to include one of these items. So it's a ticket stub from Cody Rhodes' first Royal Rumble win, vintage poster out of Warwick, WrestleMania poster, and autographs from MJF and Chris Jericho. And then it's going to have an assortment of other items in there. Some custom wrestling cards that I made with some fellow wrestlers, some ticket stubs, and a bunch of odds and ends. Great value on these. People always get a kick out of them as well.
Love that. And Jeff, where can people find out? I know they can go downtown. You're downtown. What's the exact location?
So I don't have an exact location, but we do have an online website. It's twosweetantiques.com, and then at twosweetantiques on Instagram and obviously Facebook as well.
Fantastic stuff, man. And it's amazing to see all this stuff on area because do people submit these to you now at some point? Or are you going out and finding the pieces yourself?
It's a mix. People reach out to me, say, hey, I got these items. Do you want to buy them? A lot of times I will. And then it's just kind of luck of the draw at times too, finding the right price for stuff and, digging through people's basements, whatever it may be. And it's just the thrill of finding these items that have a story to them as well.
Jeff, thank you so much. Too Sweet Antiques. Go subscribe, go follow, go like, do it all. Talk to you soon, my man. Thank you. All right, we're back here with one of the greatest high-flying, most athletic professional wrestlers in history, Shelton Benjamin, man. Thank you for joining us today.
Well, thanks for having me. I really appreciate it.
Absolutely. Although it is snowing outside, so it's probably not the most ideal time to be here.
Not for me, definitely. Not a Carolina boy. This snow is not. I'm not built for this.
Not built for. None of us. We live here my whole life. I'm still not built for it. Still not built for it, bro. But it is WrestleMania season, and I know that you've been a part of many of them. Do you still get that feeling inside of you during this time of the year?
I think we all do. Like I said, it's that time of the year. It's like Christmas for a professional wrestler. Like this is, guys turn it up. You guys get noticed. People get famous. I've been lucky enough to have been in several WrestleManias. So, like I said, this time of year is a special time, I think, for all professional wrestlers and fans because, like I said, this is our Super Bowl.
It really is. And is there a particular thought process going into it where it's all right, we know how many eyes are going to be on it at this time. Is there a different type of preparation for that particular match at Mania compared to the others?
I can't speak for everyone, but for me, anytime I enter a WrestleMania, my thought is do something memorable for the fans. For me as a performer, it's not a matter of winning or losing. It's give the fans something they're going to remember and talk about for years to come so that when I'm old and gray and I can tell my grandkids and all these little stories and they can see all these things I've done, but make an impact, do something memorable, and pretty much become immortal.
Yeah, that's what they call it. And old and gray, this dude, you're never going to be old and gray. Look at this guy. He's in better shape than he was 20 years ago. It's amazing. But this year's going to be fun for you. Wale Mania, they announced you as the guest of honor. That's super dope.
Yeah, that's awesome. When I found that news out, I think it was a shot of positivity that I really needed, you know what I mean? Because, having just recently left WWE and still trying to find my way and things like that, for something like that to come along at this time is it really makes me feel like I've done my job, exactly what I said. I made memories, I've done something that people will appreciate and remember for years to come.
Yeah, and it's an incredible event. I've gone to a few of those. We're a music station, play a lot of hip-hop, we play a lot of Wale music, so I think it's a really dope just event in general, and it's fitting, man. It makes sense that they're honoring you because, like you said, you have made the memories, you have brought a lot of happiness to a lot of people. But have you talked to any of the guys involved with it? Have you talked to, I know Kaz is involved with it. Have you talked to Big E?
I've talked to Kaz, mostly Kaz. So he's been my point guy on everything. But like I said, they said for me, we just need you to show up and have a good time. And I'm like, I'm in.
I love that, man. Planning anything special for the event?
Maybe. We're gonna play that a little close to the chest, but maybe.
All right, man. If you need some, I'll be there. So if you need somebody on stage to take a high flying maneuver, I'll be the guy. I'll take the bump.
Awesome. I got you, man.
Sheldon Benjamin, it was a pleasure, brother. Thank you so much for everything, and thank you for your time today.
Thank you.
All right, we are here with.
Well, I'm glad you're actually holding the microphone like you should. It is I, the capitalistic carny, professional wrestling's last great manager, Mr. Chad Epic Greatness himself, and you came here today to try the one and only Chad Epic's Holy Water. Now this is a beautiful honey barbecue Carolina Reaper sauce. It has the sting, it has the flavor, but it also has the heat because Chad Epic always brings the heat.
No, Chad Epic bringing the heat right now. As you can see, he has himself a taste test. So I put it in my finger here.
Oh yeah, you just need a little doll.
We're gonna do this live on camera. I told Chad Epic, I said, listen, either A, I'm gonna die on camera, we have proof, or B, he's gonna owe me at least one managerial appearance to the ring at one point in my life. We're gonna try this right here.
I mean, if he dies, I have a degree in communications. I can take the job, so it's all set.
Perfect. Well, this was all planned, wasn't it?
Usually.
Okay, you know what? This is a live reaction here. Instant heat, but like not killing me. A perfect amount of sweet. It's getting a little bit hotter, but it's not like, again, it's a creeper. But that's really good. So now what is your recommendation if you're putting this hot sauce on, like what are you putting this on? On wings, on everything?
Whatever you want. I mean, it's America. Put it on your cereal. If you buy it, it's yours. Do whatever you want. I don't judge. I don't yuck someone's yum.
I don't yuck someone's yum. I'm going to have to use that on the radio on Tuesday. I'll give you credit. So this is actually very good. And listen, I am somebody who enjoys spice, but I'm not like, I can't handle a ton of spice. So if I can handle it, take my review. I would put that on literally anything.
What goes with it is get the rub from Chad Epic.
Rub. Aha, I see there. A little wrestling lingo for my wrestling fans.
All right, this right here is a Carolina Reaper Hickory Dry Rub. You can try a little dab. This is my sample one.
Okay.
It goes, think of Five Guys fries, the Cajun, but more of a kick.
Okay. Yeah, absolutely. Now, if I was to put this on all the fries, I would kick the bucket because I would get passed out. But this is very delicious. So what I would do is, I'd probably put that on some wings.
Fish fry. Do it in a fish fry or a boil. Like you get a good old-fashioned crab boil going, throw this in there. Your guests, they'll be happy they came to your cookout.
I agree with you, and especially if you like a good spice with a ton of flavor, this is it. And he's not paying me for this. This is just a live reaction. I'm an honest guy, okay? But tell me, I need to know, how the hell did you get into this stuff?
What, professional wrestling?
Professional wrestling, I'm sure everybody has a similar story, but with the hot sauce and with the rub.
I like spicy food. I like hot sauce. The problem is too many spicy foods, hot sauces, do not have flavor. It's just a kick straight in the balls. Can I say that?
You can say balls.
All right, good. It's a kick straight in the balls with no flavor. Chad Epic's Holy Water, guaranteed it's the only hot sauce you get to taste twice. You're tasting it now, and I guarantee you'll taste it again in the morning, my friend.
Oh, okay. Well, that's good. I'm glad I only had a dab. Okay, we're gonna have to get some double layer toilet paper, but.
And I mean, here you can put this up. I know you got a graphics guy. You can put my little QR code up. Send you to all my links.
Perfect. Mr. Chad Epic. And now, hot sauce, fantastic. The rub, fantastic. Chad Epic's Holy Water, go grab it. Tell us about the professional wrestling side of it. Doing cons like this, it must be amazing to not only be able to have both of your passions in one place.
Well, here's the thing. I mean, I always tell people it's not what's being sold, it's who's doing the selling. You put something on my table, I am the capitalistic carny for a reason. I'm going to sell it. I've been doing professional wrestling, managing, commentating, ring announcing for 14 years now. I am what you would call a used car salesman. I'm going to sell you probably the cheapest car in the lot for the most amount of money, and you're going to think you're getting a good deal. I am the platinum tongue pugilist, the Grand Baron of articulation for a reason.
I noticed why you were drawn to me then. You're trying to sell people the cheapest product on the lot at the best price. I see what you're doing here.
I mean, that's what you got to do. You give it someone who, has a little bit of celebrity here in New England, slight. They endorse it for free, fantastic, and then you contact me and buy it.
I mean, but this is why you are the capitalistic carny. It's all starting to add up. It's all starting to add up right now.
You're not willing to put yourself out there, you're not going to make money. If you're not making money, you're going to have a bad time.
A really bad time, just like me tomorrow morning.
Yes.
Just like me tomorrow morning.
I won't feel a thing.
No, you won't. You're probably used to it by now. Mr. Chad Epic, it was a pleasure, my friend.
Pleasure was all yours.
It definitely was. We'll share your links, and we appreciate the time. Well, that wraps it up. New England Fan Fest 9. What a day. As you can tell, we have many different personalities here, people that are very excited. They've been waiting for this. They didn't let the snow keep them away because, of course, why would it be New England Fan Fest 9 if we didn't have some snow? Stay tuned. We got more content coming up. We'll see you next time.